The energy that you are sharing during these discussions show a great force which is very frictional towards maintaining the negative familiarity behaviours. And we would like you to work on turning that around and using the same energy as in self-empowerment towards changing your thoughts, therefore your feelings and your daily activities to ones that are unusual for you.
How?
As we've just described.
That's what I
By
try.
using your energy towards the positive instead of feeding the negative.
Right. But I drag myself to the beach, or I drag myself to do things that are unusual.
We didn't say that you had to drag yourself somewhere.
Right, but in making myself...
We are simply talking about the way that you dwell in your home, for instance.
Right. But
you don't have to be travelling miles to break a pattern.
Right, but even if I'm making myself do something, so I make myself go look at a crystal or go look at a book, or I'm still dragging myself around to make myself do something different.
Yeah.
So it is dragging myself around.
Okay, drag yourself around then.
So it
seems impossible for you to think that you can actually just walk in the other room and pick up a crystal.
Right.
Why do you need to refer to it as a dragging?
Well,
This is what we are talking to you about.
I understand.
How you negatively see every action as something abominable or difficult, and you have a propensity towards this. It will not feel good, and it does not feel good. So stop using this terminology and turn it into positive terminology.
I'm consciously making myself go over and pick up a crystal that I wasn't going to, so that I'll do something new to create new patterns.
Even in that, you are using your trickery to be cynical about a positive act. You are finding something in it that keeps the negativity flowing.
I understand, but I don't feel this later on in the day.
It's not later on in the day that you need to do it then, is it?
Right.
It is when you are feeling this and you are trying to change
a
habit.
I just don't want you to think I'm negative all the time.
I don't have a judgment on you. I am helping you to see clearly where it is you put your energy. It is of no odds to us. We are the helpers of shadow work. We have done our own shadow work. We understand the process. You are the one who needs to understand it is a process.
I just feel like walking over to the crystal is making myself do something I don't want to do, to feel something I don't feel.
And hence, the reinforcement of the negativity is the thing that keeps those unwanted negative emotions coming back round in a loop.
I understand. I'm trying to think a positive way to pretend that I want to go look at a book I don't want to look at.
Pretended for many years to be negative. I'm sure you can pretend to be positive for as many years.
The negative came easier because I felt it was thrust upon me.
It didn't come easier in the first instant. No, it's familiar, so it feels easier now because you're more used to it and there is no self-responsibility in it.
Right.
And where there is self-responsibility for taking charge and control of your thought processes and patterns, you like to stick to the familiar. but at the same time, you recognize this does not feel good in your body and you want to change. But when offered the tools for this change, you reinforce not doing it.
Well, I totally understand, and I have been doing it, walking around and looking at things differently, and noticing the difference of whether I'm really looking at something or not. But it's just not very exciting to me.
You are not in a space of pure judgment to make such a statement. You don't know what excitement is in that negative realm, so to speak. We are not talking of something that distracts us. We're talking of changing a groove into a new, lighter groove that will then increase the flow of positivity.
Right.
Do you know who you are if you are happy every single day for most of the day?
No, that's where I'm at right now.
So picture that and keep picturing it as your focus.
Picturing letting myself be happy?
Picture, I know who I am when I'm happy every day. I know who I am when I'm happy every day. You are choosing to be negative. You can now choose to be positive. It will feel strange, and the negativity will try and encourage you not to do it and to bring up every single argument in the history of arguments. But you did all that to become familiar with negativity. You can do all that to become familiar with positivity. The choice is yours, and this is a choice. This is not beyond your control. This is in your control. This is something you can control. But not if you bring up a negative fight every time something positive is mentioned.
Just going and picking up a crystal and looking at it like its beauty and just really connecting with all parts of it and loving it and then leaving it, even if I don't feel that intense love, just keep practicing with it?
Yes, yes. Just like you can bring in, if you so wish, to help this exercise, as if it's the first time, like in a crystal shop, when you are awed by the magnificence. Something attracted you to buy that crystal, something aligned and connected, and that crystal is a living being. And you can open up those pathways to see the magic in what would appear the mundane when we are negative.
Someone gave it to me.
Doesn't matter, I'm not talking of one crystal.
I'm kind of thinking about one now that I'm like walk over and touch it and everything and to look at it in all new.
Yeah, this is what we are saying. It's not going over there with memory. Remember the difference when you looked at the painting with memory and then you looked at the painting. This is what you are teaching yourself to have as your core way of seeing reality.